Okay, I thought I'd provide a little update on my garden project, little grapevines and whatnot. This is it's mid-July. We planted these at the end of April, and again it's mid-July, and here's my Concord grape, and walking over here, this is a Frontenac. This one has grown extremely vigorously, and it has reached the top wire, and we have let the buds grow out from into laterals for this 1, 2, 3. I think we're going to snip it off here, and we'll turn these laterals, this one and this one, into bilateral cordons. This one will go right, this one will go left. I think we'll leave this one right here for a spare, just in case. And like I said, I think we're gonna snip that one off right there, and might as well, we'll just do that right through the node right there. Let's get that just about right. Alright, we'll snip that off, get rid of that, and then we'll get these things, and that'll spur the growth of these laterals into cordons. So that one was ready. These have reached pencil thickness, so this should provide some nice growth for next year, and I might even be able to get a few feet of cordon to grow yet this year. Again, this is a Concord grape, and I was gonna go for a quadrilateral cordon, so I grew these two out, but now I'm not so sure that that's such a good idea. I think I'm gonna be ended up trimming these back, but this one hasn't even reached the mid cordon rate yet, so I think we'll be trimming those back, and I'll probably be trimming this back this fall, back to pencil thickness, which is probably gonna be back down around here. This is this is a Fredonia grape, doing well. It also has reached the top wire. I've got 1, 2, 3 buds that are now turning into laterals. I am not sure. I might just snip this one off above it, and we'll see what these 3 will do. Instead of snipping it off, I'd like to snip it off below, but I've only got 2, so we'll snip it off at the top, and then we'll see what that does. Okay, now we'll move back to the garden. Well, anyways, this is an update on my garden. Again, it's mid-July. I think the last time I showed this to you, it was sometime in June, I believe. Or no, actually, it was mid-May when my first video, and now my corn is as tall as I am, about almost 5.5 feet tall, a little taller than that. My tomatoes, nice and bushy. These are my Romas. Lots of flowers on there, ready to go. I think there's even some fruit on here. If I look down, there they are. So that's going well. Radishes are done, and my broccoli is just starting to produce some nice heads to them. So that's going well. My pepper plants, they seem to not grow very tall. So yeah, sorry about that. Neighbor came over to chat for a while, so I feel like an idiot talking to myself, but anyways, here's my green peppers, and they're not growing very tall, and this is like the 3rd year in a row. I just can't, they seem to just get stunted out for some reason. I get peppers off of them, but they grow awfully close. There's a pepper there. I got a nice pepper in there growing. These are my jalapenos over here, and they just started flowering, so there's no jalapenos on those. My zucchini plant's doing quite well. I just gave the neighbor probably a 3-pound zucchini. There's a nice big one, doing really well. The green beans. The deer came in here the other day and cleaned out all the tops of my green beans. You can see where they kind of chewed it off. But again, the corn is doing really well for July 15th around here. For it to be 5'6" to 5'8" tall, thick green, doing really well. And then of course this is my trellis for my cucumbers. And they're just starting to trellis a little bit here, so they're doing okay. Oh, now I see some flowers there, so they're just starting to flower. So, yeah, mid-August I'll have more fruit, more vegetables than I can eat. So we'll go back and we'll take a look at the last 6 table grapes. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, the last time you saw this, these were these plants from video 1. This is that bush cherry. That was a small bush cherry. It's doing really well this year. Again, I added the irrigation to all these. This was an Asian pear, and it started growing and it's just stopped. And I started to look at it, and the more I looked at it, I noticed the black all over the bark. So I started cutting it down, and I noticed that it was dead. And what we came to the conclusion is that it didn't survive the freeze over the winter, and that's why it just kind of died back. And so I cut this one back, and actually after I reviewed the species of Asian pear that I got, it was zone 5. I'm in zone 4B, and it was just one zone off, I guess you could say. So it didn't survive, and the next one was the same type, and I had to cut it all the way back to the ground, and so I just ended up taking it out, and I replaced it with an Asian pear bare root. This is a Drippin' Honey standard. Actually, no, this is that was the old one. The old one was a Drippin' Honey standard. This one is a Hardy Giant Olympic. Anyway, and this is for my region here, so hopefully this will survive the winter a little bit better. And it's just starting to bud out and branch out, so it's doing well. These are the 2 Macintoshes. They're doing fairly well. This is the bare root cherry I just planted this year, so it's doing well. And this is the 2nd year plum. This is a superior plum, and I did end up getting one plum out of on the fruit for this year. So put a sock on it. That's what I'm going to plan to do for all my fruit, just to protect it from the bugs early on. And we'll see how it comes out. Going back down here, I had some frost problems. Again, we had late frost, so I had frost problems with my pear trees. But I planted another. This is a giant Asian pear here. I just planted it. Oh, I just planted this one just 3 weeks ago, I think. I came late, 2 weeks ago. End of June. So yeah, 2 to 3 weeks ago, and it's doing really well. This is a peach tree. Again, just a few weeks I just planted it. It's doing really well. This is zoned for us. This is the second year for this. I think this is the Bartlett pear. Oh, this is the Parker. And you can tell that I got, this is actually all this brown. That was from frost damage. And for the longest time I wasn't producing any shoots. And then so I fertilized it, and then I started getting some nice shoots off of it late. But nonetheless, because it just looked a little thin. That frost really does some damage around here. And I ended up getting one pear this year. I think I started with 3 and there's 1 left. But at least I'm starting to get some shoot production out of it. Get some branches. The deer really did a job on it last year too. So, and then this is the other one. This is the Bartlett. And for the Bartlett, I actually got there's three fruit on it for this year. I got them socked off. And then again with the branches, spurring the branches, I wasn't getting anything. And at the same time I did the other one, I fertilized them both, and about 2.5, 3 weeks later I started getting some really nice growth, and now I probably got a foot, 16 inches of growth on these branches. So that's some nice growth out of them. I needed that. This is one that died back a couple years ago, and it's growing out of the root. God only knows what it's going to be, so it's below the graft, so we'll see what it ends up being. This is a contender peach, bare root that they sent me a couple weeks ago, and it's not doing as well. The shoots started coming out, but then they're starting to get a little funky now. I don't know what's up with this thing, so we'll have to keep our eye on it. I hope it survives. I might have to trim this back a little bit, this top, because nothing is growing on it. So I might just trim it back down to here. Matter of fact, while we're sitting here, I might as well do that now. Excuse the shakiness of the video, but yeah, so let's take it down there. We'll get a nice angle to it, and we'll just clip it off. And we'll take that with us. Again, this is another pear tree that had died back due to frost. And I cut the stump out last year. I cut it down, way down, and then it started growing below the graft. And this is what has grown back. Hi, Autumn. And it's now 5 foot tall now, so we'll see what we end up with. And these are one of my walnuts, doing pretty well. Again, my irrigation line's going down. Another walnut. These are the ones that, both of these were the ones that got severe frost damage and had to grow back like 2 or 3 times after the buds froze. These are the Somerset grapes. They're kind of really slow going. They're kind of spindly. So we just barely reached the mid wire. So they're not going to reach the top wire this year. So we'll be cutting them back. So there's no pruning needed. Again, another Somerset. These are the Reliance, and they're doing pretty well. They're just about just about to the top wire here. Now this one is also a reliant, and this one has reached to the top cordon. Now again, I allowed the buds to grow 1, 2, 3 below the top wire. So maybe this one can go for a bilateral cordon. This lateral can become a cordon. This lateral will become a cordon, and this one down here can be a spare. So I think we're probably ready, and it's about pencil thickness. So I think what we'll end up doing is we'll end up trimming this off right here. So you can tell I got some nice growth there. Let's go ahead and cut it through the node, and then I'll end up tying it up later. I'll take this off. Maybe we'll stick this one in the ground. And that's the only one actually so far that's reached the top wire that we can consider. These are the Edelweiss. They're just about to the top, but they're still pretty spindly, so I'm probably going to be cutting them down to somewhere around the mid-wire, I'm going to guess, this fall. And then we'll have some good growth next year. And the other Edelweiss is the same way. So that, as they say, is that. I saw this last night. This is the first time that I saw the bug this morning when I was doing my walk, and he was chewing on it. It was an aphid, some sort of aphid. So today I went through and I sprayed all my leaves with insecticide, bug spray, some sort of safe, organic, and we'll see how that works. But boy, they can do some damage in a hurry, because yesterday this leaf was fine, and today, you know, it's pretty damaged up. And then to end the tour, this is probably my best walnut. This is the one that didn't get any frost damage whatsoever, and it's doing really well, as you can plainly see. And it's probably because it was protected by these bushes over here, and it's the only one that gets sun almost all day long. All the rest of them get some shade for quite a while. And here's the last of my walnuts. Again, this one got some pretty good damage to it. I'm still fighting something, and I haven't figured out what it is with this little black fungus going on. I just sprayed it the other day with some copper fungicide, and then today I sprayed it with bug spray. But you know, if it ain't one thing, it's another with these plants. I get plants growing next to my house that are healthy and alive and grow like weeds. I mean, they're 6 foot tall before I can blink, and there's no bugs on them whatsoever. And I try to grow stuff out here where I want it to grow, and everything in the Mother Nature fights me all the way. So anyways, it's a process. Thanks for watching, and we'll update you again maybe in a few weeks. Talk to you soon. Bye. Say goodbye, guys. Hey, say goodbye.